It's really hard to see your spouse go to deployment, and it's really hard to see them come home broken. And I'm thankful every day that he is here and that we have time together, but I would do anything to have my husband back.
Jenna met Isaac right before he went off to boot camp in the Navy. Their story began like a fairy tale.
It was like love at first sight. We just knew we were meant to be together.
They married shortly after, and soon Isaac was off to his first deployment.
When he came home from Iraq, I noticed there was changes, but I just assumed that was the normal transition of coming back into civilian life. He started having trouble sleeping at this point, intimacy issues, inability to really be vulnerable and kind of avoiding things. And he didn't want to go out as much. I really think the beginning signs of PTSD were there, and I missed it. During the Afghanistan deployment, our communication was really breaking down. We were really having a hard time connecting. When he came back, that's when things really got challenging. That's when I knew something was seriously wrong. We went to a marriage conference, and that was the first time that I really saw him have an anxiety attack. And so that was my first what is this? Why, this is new. He's never done this before. He was in so much pain that deployment and just really struggling. And then he kept going to the ER, and finally they did an MRI of his back. Turns out his vertebra was broken and he had to have surgery ASAP. After the surgery, he just went into full-on depression. He was suicidal. There was one point where he tried to kill himself. He was having anger issues. He was punching walls and doors with his anger. It was just a really trying time. And there were many times where I was just like, I need to go. As spouses, we weren't briefed on what to look for in PTSD and brain injuries, any of that. It took me a whole year to realize this is PTSD. How did I not see this?
It was by this time, when Jenna was taking Isaac to all his appointments, taking care of the children, and working 50 hours a week, when she started experiencing symptoms of compassion fatigue, or secondary PTSD.
That's when I finally applied for the Caregiver program. That was really our turning point.
The VA Caregiver Support Program provided Jenna compensation for the caregiver services she was providing for Isaac, which enabled her to work part-time and focus more on searching for treatments not offered by the VA, like those provided by the Wounded Warrior Project. The Wounded Warrior Project referred Jenna and Isaac to its Warrior Care Network at UCLA, where Isaac went through 3 weeks of intensive outpatient therapy in a program called Operation Mend. One of the unique features of this program is that it includes the caregiver as well, so they both receive the help and treatment they need.
I can't say enough about the program. Isaac did not have the mental capacity to go to college, and now he's taking classes, is finishing up his bachelor's degree, and that is huge for him to be able to do that with his PTSD and brain injury. When we were going through the program, he, one night was just like, whispered to me, this is working. And for him to say, this is working, finally, after so many years, something, because he tried everything. So to finally have something that was working and he was noticing a change in himself and his thoughts and how he's feeling was incredible.
While Jenna and Isaac still face daily struggles along the way, their story has a happy ending after all.
My husband and I are a perfect example of there is hope. I never thought we would be where we are today. I never thought that we could have a really good marriage again. I never thought that we could do things as a family again without fights and arguments and tension. Keep fighting. Don't give up hope.
BrainLine is powered in part by Wounded Warrior Project to honor and empower post 9/11 injured service members, veterans, and their families. For more information about PTSD, please visit brainline.org. BrainLine is a service of WETA, Washington, D.C.